Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alvin Po. In this channel, I put out videos about my experience as an entrepreneur so that you know what it takes to scale up your business and get to the next level. These videos are based on my lessons, my experiences, the mistakes that I made so that you don't have to make them. And hopefully these videos will help you. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5E scale engine and all the various principles in detail. I'm going to focus on the very first principle today, evolve, and why it's important. If you haven't checked out the book, go check it out. This book, Super Scaling, contains all the lessons that I learned in order to scale up my business from $0 to $30 million. And the framework that I used is the 5E scale engine is detailed in this book. So the process again of the 5E scale engine took a really long time. I have a video that I can probably link somewhere here to tell you more about how I actually got through that whole process in order to develop the 5E scale engine. And today we're going to talk about the first principle. Of the 5 principles, we have evolve, envision, empower, engage, as well as execute. The very first principle was something that eluded me for a very long time. I thought a framework like this was all about the business that you run, but I was wrong. The very first thing that we should think about, the very first thing that we should focus on is not the business. It is the person running the business, the entrepreneur, the business owner. Because who we are many years ago or in the past is vastly different from who we are right now. And who we want to be has to be different as well. So that was the key concept that I missed out completely, and I'm glad I put it into the 5E scale engine. So let's cover it right now. When I was a kid, at 17 years old, starting a business was something that was very exciting to me and completely new. My co-founder and I, we were the same age and we had the same kind of experiences. So neither of us was an entrepreneur. When we went into business, we made so many mistakes, we failed so many times, we had to figure out things along the way. And in Evolve, we talk about what it takes to change as a person, the limiting beliefs that stop us from getting success, the thought processes that we need to have, and everything it takes for a person to evolve. And that's why the very first principle is known as evolve. So there are 3 main principles, 3 main sub-principles in evolve that we cover. The very first is sustainability. The second is to come from a place of intent. And the third is leverage. So these are the 3 things that we're going to cover today. Stay tuned. Sustainability is a concept that I think applies to all aspects of our life. I didn't know it at that point of time, but I'm a very systematic person. Why I'm systematic is because I don't like maintenance. I don't like to constantly think about things. I don't know about you, but something as simple as an espresso machine is something that's very annoying to me because there's a lot of maintenance, there's a lot of steps that are involved in creating a cup of coffee. You need to buy the capsules, even though you might get it on subscription, there's going to be issues there as well. You might have to clean the machine, and you need to store the capsules as well. In addition, you need to fill the reservoir, discard the capsule. It's a whole process. And there's a lot of maintenance involved in that. I don't like that. I like a nice, simple cup of coffee that I make from instant coffee. No milk, no sugar, I just put everything into a cup, add hot water, and it's done. It's a 2-step process. And that's the way I like things. For business, it's the same thing. I like to keep things as simple as possible so that I can get efficient. Because as the business grows, the number of variables that you control and you have to take note of increases. Whether it's just you or you have a team, all that just exponentially increases. So one of the things that I like is to make things sustainable. Sustainability is a concept that looks at the long-term aspects of things rather than the short-term. A lot of times entrepreneurs focus on very short-term hacks or short-term growth in profits or revenue or whatever it is. While that may be nice, it only happens once or twice, right? It's a very short-term thinking. I like the long-term stuff where I know and I can rely on it happening again and again. It becomes predictable. And how we do that is to come from a place of sustainability, like knowing that all our efforts can be sustained. And I liken this to like even our personal goals. I talk about how I went through this fitness journey. I wanted to lose fat, build muscle, and we all know what it takes. You need to have a good diet, good being a diet that actually promotes that end result, and you need to actually work out. If you want to put on muscle, you have to work out. And so these are the two main problems that not just I face, but anyone that goes through that fitness journey will face. And a lot of times we use motivation to spur us on. How motivation looks like is you wake up in the morning, when you first decide on a goal, you wake up the next morning and you are raring to go, right? You find time to go to the gym, you decide to eat healthy, and this might last a while. This might last for a month or two, or sometimes even longer, but it's painful because you always have to tell yourself what to do. You always have to tell yourself, this is something that you want to commit to, and so it sometimes becomes very difficult. You might see results, but after all that motivation disappears, you just fall back onto wherever you are again. And so instead of motivation and instead of one-time stuff, sometimes systems are a lot more effective. And systems could be, for example, scheduling time to go to the gym every single day, or depending on your schedule, depending on your commitment, depending on the goals that you want, maybe once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. Doesn't matter, as long as that is scheduled, we commit to it. It's like how we have meetings scheduled in our calendars that we commit to and we turn up on time for. We have to do that for the gym as well. We have to say, every Thursday, I'm going to the gym for an hour and I know exactly what to do in that 1 hour. And we just commit to it. Over time, just by doing that, we will see results. We will see increases in strength. We will see increases in muscle. It happens because, it's there in our calendar. And we no longer have to rely on motivation. Same thing with food as well. If we are motivated to just cut out all our calories, we starve ourselves for like 2 weeks, we will lose weight. But after that 2 weeks, we just bounce back again. And that's why there's the yo-yo effect. So sustainability is looking at how we can create the systems that can sustain the results that we want. And we can translate that in business as well. We can translate it into the things that our businesses require, so that we can actually repeat those things again and again, especially if we have a team. The second part of this principle is known as coming from a point of intention. That is absolutely essential. I use the waterfall of intent to do that. It basically starts from an end result first concept, where we know not just the direction that we want to take, but the end result that we want to get to. And from there, we can craft the action steps that are necessary to get us there. And then we test it out and we actually commit to actually doing those actions. So we know that when we do that, we are not going anywhere else, we are actually getting to the end result that we want. A lot of times people say, hey, you know what, I want to grow my sales, I want to hire people, but they don't really have very clear action steps. A very clear end result, for example, when we talk about increasing revenue, is maybe increasing revenue by 20%, right, year on year. So if that's the case, we know that if our revenue was $1 million last year, our target this year is $1.2 million. That's a very simple example of being absolutely clear about the end result. We realize that once we break it down into the sub goals, that might not necessarily be as clear. With the waterfall intent, it helps get that clarity and allows us to come from that place of intent. And this applies to everything that we do, especially with dealing with our teams and having the teams also repeat this. The third is leverage. And this is something that I think is absolutely important and different from how we started our business. When I started my business with my co-founder, a lot of times the questions that I went through or I had in my mind was, how can I do this better? How can I solve this problem better? How can I take care of this client? How can I? When it comes to scaling up your business and actually having a team and getting to the next level, we need to change that. We need to change that question to how can we solve this? How can we do this better? How can we make this happen? How can we provide better for our clients? All these questions all change from I to we. The key concept here is the concept of leverage. Leverage allows us to leverage on the systems, the teams that we have as an organization to get us to the goals that we want. This leverage concept is absolutely powerful, and I'm going to find the diagram that I created. Hopefully you can see this. This diagram, I think, is something that actually shows you the difference. Here you have it where the entrepreneur just focuses on like growing everything himself. You're limited and you get burnt out if you do that. You get overwhelmed. But over here is the concept of the concept of leverage, where when you think about leverage, you find the team, the systems that help you, and your reach, your end results get so much more powerful. And that is the concept of leverage that I cover in the book, how we actually change our mindsets, battle the limiting beliefs that stop us, and get the end results that we want. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of Evolve. Go get the book if you haven't. I'm running a special promotion on it right now on my website. So if you haven't, go check it out. I'll put a link somewhere here. It's superscaling.com/book. And if you're in Singapore, there's even free shipping. Hopefully this video helps you. Like, comment, share. More importantly, subscribe. If you have friends that might benefit, tell them about it. I think this is something that we want to do together. One of my personal vision for this brand is to really impact 1 million entrepreneurs that can go on to impact positively our society, people around them, their customers, their teams. Business to me is fun, and I want you to have fun with your business as well, so that the people around you can also enjoy the fruits of your labor. Hopefully this helps. Stay tuned to the next video where I dive into the rest of the other principles of the 5E skill engine. Until then, take care and stay tuned.